Treasures in a pine cone. Find out why a pine cone changes throughout the years. One day, when I was walking in my backyard, I saw a pine cone on the ground. I picked it up, and some seed fell out of it. Those seeds would be a tasty treat for a squirrel, I thought. Would a squirrel find the seed in time for dinner? I realized that pine cones were not always open like this one. Sometimes cones were tightly closed. I decided to find out why. I read about pine cone in books and on the internet. I interviewed a pine cone expert. I gathered pine cones from my backyard and kept them outside on my deck. I watched them for over a year. Here's what I learned. Pine cones open and close slowly as the weather changes. When it's cold or wet, cones are tightly closed. This protects the seed inside from rain and snow. The weather becomes warm and dry. Pine cone open. In a forest of pine trees on a hot day. You might even hear the crackling sound of cones popping open. The seed inside may then fall to the ground. The wind may blow the seed to a place where they can grow into new pine tree. A seed has a better chance of taking roots and growing when the weather is warm. Seeds are food too. Pine seeds are an important source of food for many animals, says Monty Maldonado. He is a pinecone expert with the United States Forest Service. He says squirrels depend on pinecone seed for most of their meal. They spend lots of time gathering and store the cones. Maldonado says some animals eat only the seed from the pine cone. But red squirrel and gray squirrel will eat the whole thing. Small animals aren't the only creatures who eat pine seed. Maldonado says big grizzly bears and people eat them too. You may have eaten the seeds of the pinyon pine, which grows in the western United States. These seeds are also known as pinyon nuts or pine nuts. They are used in salads, pudding cakes, candy, cookies, and pesto sauce. Seeds inside a pine cone are important for the growth of new trees and as food for animals. It is the pine cone's job to protect and realize them. So take note of the pine cones you see on the ground. They hold treasures inside. See for yourself. Find some pine cones and keep them outside where you can look at them for several months. Take the photo or draw a picture of your pine cones when you first get them. Make more pictures as the cones change. In a notebook, keep track of changes in the weather. Write down what happened to your pine cones. Do some of the cones open or close more quickly than others? You may see signs that the squirrel or another small animal has torn your pine cone apart, looking for seeds to eat.